In 2006, I found something in my backyard that I still can't explain. It started with scratching sounds every night around 3 a.m. At first, I thought it was raccoons, until I saw the eyes. They glowed in the dark, two pale, wet circles low to the ground. Then it moved, crawling, fast. It had long limbs, skin like wet paper, and no face, just a torn mouth open and shaking like it was trying to scream, but nothing came out. I froze. It stopped just a few feet from me, and it watched for what felt like hours. Then it crawled away back into the trees. I told people, no one believed me, until my neighbor was found in his bed, eyes wide open, mouth shredded. There were claw marks across the walls, and on the mirror, scratched in blood, one word, Rake. I moved, cities, states, changed my number, but last night, at exactly 3 a.m., the scratching started again. Let me tell you about what happened to me when I was 16, out in the Alabama woods. We were out camping, just me, my cousins, and some of our friends, about 10 of us in total. My cousin had this trailer deep in the forest, miles from the nearest neighbor. No cell service, no lights, just trees and silence. That night, we were sitting around the fire roasting marshmallows when one of the guys, Tanner, said he heard footsteps. We brushed it off as deer or maybe coyotes, but then someone else came out of the woods. It was a guy, looked normal enough. Hoodie, jeans, pale skin, said he was hiking and got lost, asked if he could join us for the night. We said, sure, it's the South, people help each other, but something about him felt off. He barely spoke, didn't eat, just stared at the fire. The next morning, one of us noticed there were 11 people around the campfire, but only 10 of us came on the trip. When we looked around, though, the strange guy was gone. That should have been the end of it, but it wasn't. We kept hearing noises, branches breaking, soft whispering near the trailer, things moving outside at night. One night I looked out the window and saw something crawling on all fours, pale and twisted, just watching us from the tree line. It wasn't human, and yet it wore a human face. We finally packed up and left early. Nobody said a word on the drive back. Weeks later, I found an old Native American legend online. A creature that mimics humans, follows groups, watches them, sometimes replaces them. They call it the skinwalker, Goatman. It all started when I moved in with my brother Edwin. I had just gotten out of college and he had space at his place, so why not? It was quiet, peaceful even, until the night I woke up with a pain in my side. It wasn't a normal pain, it felt surgical. Like something had cut into me. I thought it was just a bad dream. But then I lifted my shirt and saw the stitches. Someone had sewn me up. I told Edwin. He said I probably sleepwalked and fell. But I knew that wasn't it. That night I set up a camera in my room. What I saw the next morning made my blood run cold. At exactly 2:12 a.m., my bedroom door creaked open. Something walked in, slowly. It was wearing a black hoodie. Its skin was gray-blue, but the worst part, it had no eyes. Just two deep, empty sockets, and yet, I swear it was looking right at me. It leaned over my bed, reached into a black satchel, and pulled out a scalpel. Then it made a precise cut along my side, like a surgeon. I didn't move. I didn't scream. Somehow, I stayed asleep. The next morning, my side was sore again. Another wound, another stitch. That was the last night I stayed there. I don't know what it was looking for inside me, but I'm not giving it a second chance. I only know one thing for sure. Eyeless Jack is real, and he's still out there harvesting.